1.
Hi guys, hope you're doing well today. A very exciting stream, a very special stream for both Leon and I. We are exploring 6 demos from the Steam Next Fest. It used to be Summer Games Fest, not Summer Games Fest, that was last week. Steam Game Festival or something like that. But now they've rebranded. It's Next Fest. We're here with 6 demos, and I'm joined by, well, he's over here, by my friend Leon from I Love Indies. Why don't you introduce yourself, Leon?
Hello guys, I'm Leon. This is the face to the voice that runs I Love Indies. I set up my channel in January. It was one of those things, a bit like Cody, where COVID gave me a bit more time, so I decided to go for my passion, which is, well, one of my passions is video games, in particular indie games. And I've always loved them, as you'll probably know if you've listened to any of my videos. And then I set up a channel, I Love Indies, on YouTube. And what I do is I do a video a week every Friday, because that's all I can manage at the moment, because I am a full-time English teacher, I should just point out. And I put out a video every Friday, which is Indies of the Week. And so it's a curated selection of some of the best indies that you need to check out. You can also follow me on Twitter as well. Indies Love is my Twitter handle, where I post indies of the day. I'm all about selling the indie dream, Cody. Just like you.
I think we both are. Yeah, we share our love for indies in common. So you can see Leon has his tags under his picture there. We'll be back and forth between when we play games, so that'll be up here in and out the whole time. So please go give Leon a subscription on YouTube. He puts out excellent videos every week highlighting what's come out. So, real quick, we have 2 or 3 minutes before we get started here. I do want to say hello to anyone in chat. Lemons says hello. Welcome, Lemons. Dave from SaveDex is here. Adan is here. And Mew Like Kitten is here, all watching on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. And Sophie is here from SaveDex as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Hello, Sophie.
Oh, and Kevalo. A lot of people popping up here. Thank you guys. So, Leon, why don't you run us through the games that are coming up? I've got them on the screen behind me. They're in the thumbnail. But
well, we've got 5 of the 6 that are up there coming up. We will explain that one of them actually is not going to be featured. Just hold on.
Spencer Foxworth, welcome as well.
That is Spider the dog that is scratching the door. So we've got 6 games, as you can see on the screen behind Cody. We have Sable coming up first, which is a really big, hyped game. Can't wait to try that out. Are you excited?
Oh, this is probably the #1 game that I've been looking forward to of the summer.
Release date in September, at the end of September. So that is definitely one that many people will like, and it's coming out on most systems. So that's how we're going to be our starting game. We've got Moons of Darcelon, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is, if you love pixel art, well, this is going to be fantastic. We've also got, I think this is one of Cody's favourites, Road 96. Which was first announced in a Nintendo Direct some time ago. But it's also part of the Steam Next Fest. And, well, we'll talk about it later. Because I've got a few things to say. We've also got, by a French developer, Avaliana. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Avaliana. Is that how you think it goes?
You know, that's a great question. I was kind of pronouncing it Avaliana. Avalion. I don't know, though. Maybe he'll show up and correct us.
Yes, we may have a couple of devs. We've certainly got one joining us. We may have another one. And we were planning to play one of my most wanted indie games that you can see it behind Cody there. The 5th one, The Knight. Female knight as well, female protagonist. Renane. Unfortunately, the demo has been delayed until tomorrow, so we may feature that on Saturday. We'll just have to see, because we have got a second stint on Saturday. And then finally, we're going to wrap things up with Death Trash. Pixel art Fun and Frolics that has been in production for 6 years. I know it's one that Cody is really looking forward to, and so am I. So, well, what do you make of it all? What are you most looking forward to, Cody?
Well, obviously, I'm really looking forward to Sable as someone who's enjoyed games like Journey and movies like Star Wars. To me, this is kind of a beautiful mashup of both of those, but with a completely different art style inspired by Mobius art.
I've got him in my notes. I've written it.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. So why don't we jump into it?
Yeah, because I know people would love to just hear us chat.
Oh yeah.
I think they want to see some of these demos.
So let's see it.
Selected.
I think this is probably best played on a controller, so I'm going to pull mine out here. We'll go to a new game. Who else have we got? Oh, go ahead.
Aiden's saying that my volume ducks when you speak.
Let me turn that off. Alright, that should do it. Let me know if the game volume is too high. I don't want the game volume to be over Leon, because usually I just have the game volume ducking behind me.
You don't want me ducking behind you?
No, I don't.
No.
Thank you, Adan, for letting us know. We have Annika here as well, and Mikawai. So welcome everyone. A big turnout here. What do you guys think of Sable? Is it a game that you're looking forward to? Is this the first time you're seeing it or hearing about it?
It has been in production for a few years now. It got delayed, the release, but it is now coming out in September. And it's coming out on the PC, PS4, Xbox, pretty much everything. At the moment, I don't think it's been confirmed for the Nintendo Switch, unfortunately. Which is a shame.
That is a shame.
I'm sure it'll come out.
Yeah, it may just be a matter of time, hopefully.
It's the first time you like kittens heard of it. Well, I think you're in for a treat. Dave says Sable was a female wrestler. I should know that, being from England. It doesn't ring any bells. Dave.
Is wrestling very big in England?
Wrestling? Not really. We sort of like the American wrestling, like you, WWE or WWF when I was a young whippersnapper.
But now that's all about the animals, right?
It is, yes.
Oh, what? Okay. So
I've played about 10 minutes of this just to get a feel of it. And the first thing, well, you've already mentioned Journey, and yes, it has a Star Wars element to it, particularly when you get on the sort of the sand cutter a bit later on. But it sort of reminds me a little bit of Ico, or Eco, depending how you pronounce it.
I haven't played that.
Bosses. Great game.
Yeah, look at this art though. Very
superb.
Very different from from a lot of games, not just indie games. Like I don't know that I've ever played. I don't know if I've ever played a game that looks like this. Very intricate designs. A lot of lines. So I guess am I just supposed to jump?
Mikolai, I hope that's how you pronounce your name. He's played the demo, likes it, not so keen on the camera movements. It was actually something I picked up on when I was playing. They have time to fix that.
Yeah, actually, as soon as I picked up the controller, it seems... I'm not sure. Something just seems a little bit off about it. An Ibex camp.
Sophie remembers Ico. And she's done Shadow of the Colossus to death, one of my all-time favourite video games. even though it's not really indie, although it has a lot of indie sensibilities, you could say.
I have seen Sable getting a lot of comparisons in the last couple days, probably due to E3 and stuff like that, to Breath of the Wild. I'm not sure how I feel about that comparison, because I think this is not very combat heavy.
No, I think it's more of a sort of like search quest, sort of like open world adventure where you're sort of completing quests for people, finding secrets.
Right. I'm not worried at all.
The protagonist is called Sable, so that's why we have this name. And it's all about her gliding, a rite of passage that takes her across the sand dunes and deserts. There'll be spaceships along the way, all sorts of ancient wonders. Perhaps that's where the Breath of Wild comparisons come in.
Maybe, because I remember I think in the most recent trailer, as she's on the speeder bike, she passes in front of like a huge mechanical animal of sorts, I guess, that was just laying in the sand. I mean, very similar. Again, I'll probably keep comparing this to Star Wars because the setting of this just reminds me a lot of like Tatooine.
Tatooine, yes, yep. I agree. Very much like that.
So Adan and Mikawai making some interesting points. Adan says seems like the game intentionally uses low frame rate for the animations. It looks so gorgeous. And Mikawai says, yeah, game is in 30 FPS, but main character movement is in 15.
That's fascinating. I didn't actually realise that because I didn't have... I often do put a FPS meter on to measure it. I'm a bit of I've told you before, I'm very sensitive to frame drops.
Yeah, that's what kind of concerns me a little bit. Like, is this game going to make people sick?
Hopefully it won't make you sick like Wave Break.
I don't want to get off track, but I've had several people comment on that review and tell me that it also made them sick. Actually, one guy said he had his friends over to play and they all got sick.
Oh, right. Well, that's no good. So it definitely wasn't COVID.
No. Annika is off to bed. Annika, thanks so much for joining us for a little bit. Hope you have a good night.
Nice to see you, Annika. Annika was my 500th subscriber. I'll never forget. Thank you.
Excellent.
So there's quite a lot of... It's quite text heavy to start off with, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I think the first thing you have to do, you have to speak to a couple of people. There's your map.
Oh, this is perfect. I love this. Being able to pull up the map while you move. You just pull it up by holding left bumper on an Xbox controller. Super. That's excellent. Look at these masks, too. I'm not sure why they're all wearing masks, but they're really ornate, and so far no one's is the same as anybody else's.
It's obviously because of the COVID, isn't it?
How long do you know how long this game has been in development? Longer than COVID.
I think 3 or 4 years, actually. We've got Morrow in the chat. He says the graphics are a bit like Futurama, and I can actually see that. That does make... Yeah. Makes sense. He does have a very striking art style. And if you've never seen Morbius's paintings or his comic books, have a look, Google it, Morbius, because it does look very similar. I think the devs have been inspired by him. Sadly, no longer with us. He died in 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah, so there's a lot of dialogue right up front before. So I'm trying to just skim through it. I don't want to miss exactly what we're doing, but we haven't gotten our bike yet.
You're gonna get your bike in a minute.
Okay, perfect. Oh, and he's got a prosthetic leg too. I didn't even notice that when we walked up. Activate
very stylish. Very stylish.
Stone. At the altar.
I think you can jump. I don't think falls hurt.
We will find out.
There you go. She's well superhuman. So this chap around this tent here, I think he has your bike.
Does he have? Oh, okay.
There it is.
It's interesting too that there's like some not dialogue text, like kind of setting the scene before you talk to these people. Well, this guy's mask is almost the same as the last one.
You probably can't hear the audio, but what's interesting is that it's like a story being told. She tells the story like it's already happened in third person. Like I went to do this, I did that. It's quite interesting.
I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. You have something for me.
Cut to the
don't you?
chase and let's get in that speed bike.
Yes, that's what I'm here for.
There's supposedly a lot of puzzles in the game, lots of secrets and collectibles. Once you've got your bike, you can actually customize it. There's
Probably
loads of other-
some sort of platforming puzzles, I would imagine, with like the gliding stone. Don't you think?
Yeah. I think so. There seems to be a lot of climbing and gliding. Those seem to be two of the main sort of mechanics of the game. And we haven't mentioned the music, the soundtrack, which plays over the titles. Japanese Breakfast. Have you heard of Japanese Breakfast, Cody?
I actually heard them during the Summer Game Fest. They sang the song over the trailer.
Has anyone in the chat listened to Japanese Breakfasts?
Yeah, besides that, I haven't listened. I'll give it a go. Yeah, besides that, I haven't listened to their music.
It is really good. It's a really good album. It came out a few months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. Actually, I strongly recommend it. And I can tell you that the Sable soundtrack by Japanese Breakfast is going to be released later in the year.
Really?
So we're getting 2 Japanese Breakfast albums in 1 year. This is it. This is the moment.
Here we go.
This is what everyone's come for.
So you can move side to side by hitting strafe.
Yeah.
Look at the... Now, this doesn't feel like it's 15 FPS. Okay, can we just do this for like 10 more minutes? Just drive around the
Yeah, well, I think
dunes?
you can. You can explore at your own pace, Cody.
You can...
I don't know how long...
Whoops.
Yeah. Sorry.
The camera kind of moves freely. Okay, so we went through that gate and that activated something for one of our quests. You can pull up the map while you're on here. I really just like the way everything... There's a lot of attention to detail in like the user interface, which for me can be something that quickly takes away from a game. If you're not able to like pull up the map while you're moving. I don't know. This just seems like a very well-designed user interface. Something to make the gameplay more enjoyable and not drag.
We've got the moons of Darcelon in the house, in the chat feed.
Oh, welcome, Dr. Cucho. Is it Cucho or Cuco? Or something else?
Thanks for joining us. We've got your game up next.
What are these here for? Not sure what the point of that is. Do you know, Leon, do you know where the altar is to activate this gliding stone?
I don't know. Can you not bring up your map? Will it not tell you? I didn't get that far. Driss was the guy that gave you the bike.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it said I needed to activate it at an altar, but I didn't see an altar anywhere. Maybe Driss will tell me where it is. It is Dr. Cucho. Excellent. Well, we are looking forward to checking out Moons of Darcelon in, well, just about 5 minutes. We're not on fire. Everything sounded normal.
It feels like a comic book, a living comic book. It looks like one, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. I feel like we've been seeing several games like that recently. There was one that you highlighted maybe a month or two ago. The name's escaping me now.
What type of game was it?
Had a very comic book feel to it. I think you were like going in and out of the book. I'm doing
Not
it.
Lost Words.
No.
Well, I do cover quite a lot of games.
Yes, you do. I'm not narrowing it down very well for you.
I think the most I've got in one video is 14 so far, but I tend to try to keep it a bit
Grief.
lower than that.
Can you give us any hints as to what games you'll be featuring this week?
Well, if all goes to plan, I'll be looking at Minute of Islands, which got a surprise release on Saturday on most consoles and PC. That is a beautiful game, beautiful indie game, Minute of Islands. I may be looking at Garlic, which finally came out today. If you've never heard of Garlic, it's not a member of the Onion family. It's actually an indie precision platformer, which has a beautiful sort of retro pixel aesthetic. And well, there's a few surprises in there. I don't want to say too much. But that'll be Friday at some point. All being well. So what are you thinking? What are your thoughts on this, Cody? From 20 minutes.
I love the art. Oh, and we're getting like a nighttime cycle here too. This is really nice. Yeah, I love the art. I love the open world guided exploration. It's not just kind of, go out and get lost forever, but it's guided. You have quests and a decent map telling you where to go. But the art style for me really is one of the biggest selling points.
You're right. But is it that sand cutter that is selling it for you?
It's definitely helping. It's not hurting the case at all. I want to see what this red glowing thing is out here, and then we'll probably have to wrap this one up.
This game started by a developer called Shedworks, who is a two-person development team. And do you know why they call themselves Shedworks, Cody?
I actually don't.
Well, have a guess.
Did they start working in a shed?
Correct. Yeah, well done. There you go. You can have a house point.
Yes.
Yes, Garden Shed in North London. That's where it all started. And since then, obviously, it's developed. They've probably got a bigger team now, and Raw Fury's picked this up to publish it. And Raw Fury, well, they do put out some fantastic games. Two of the best that I've come across this year: The Longest Road on Earth and Backbone.
I still have not finished Backbone, but The Longest Road on Earth, I would definitely... Oh, we're trying to hit the brakes here, and it's not working.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
It looks very, very wholesome. It doesn't look like there's you can actually sort of crash or there'll be no explosions or deaths.
Right, and kind of similar to, like, you can just jump from heights and not have to worry about dying or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
which is totally the opposite of Zelda, because you've got that stamina meter and the Breath of the Wild. It actually it sort of limits where you can go.
Yeah. So I think this is a good... Sorry, I think this is a good place to wrap it up, because we do need to move on to Moons of Darcelon.
We do, yes. I do think one game it looks a little bit like is Rhyme, which is a fabulous indie title. Have you played Rhyme?
I haven't played that one either. Leon, you're calling me out for my inexperience.
Oh, Rime is superb. Has anyone in the chat played Rime? Because that is R-I-M-E. Oh, we've been told that Sable does have a stamina meter. All right.
It does as far as the running, I think.
Right. Maybe climbing. We didn't get any climbing there, did we?
No, we didn't. I think, is that what that red highlight was?
Possibly. Dave's come in with Rime was awesome. He played it on PS4. I did, yeah, when it came out. I heard there were some issues with the Switch port not running particularly well. I don't know if they fixed that. But yeah, Rime, superb. Aiden might have it in his library. Not played it, but should do. Wonderful stuff. So Dr. Kucho's telling us for his game that we should disable scan lines. They don't look nice on streaming.
Excellent. I'm glad. Very glad he's here to tell us that. So you can hear the music. I am trying to get it pulled up into OBS real quick. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on with our cameras right now, Leon.
Oh, sorry, I pressed it. That was me. I pressed the button. I'm back. So what can I tell you about Moons of Darcelon? Well, I'm sure Dr. Kucho can tell us a lot about it. I'm just looking at some of the press kit and the information. It's described as a retro action, save them all platformer that includes advanced physics combined with unique rendering pipeline for a consistent retro feel. Sounds very interesting. And I think the CRT scan lines add to this sort of retro feel. And they've described it as a classic Disney animation of characters. I'm looking forward to seeing that. That sounds interesting. Here we go.
Alright, I think... Are we back looking normal here?
Yep.
We are looking normal. For a while I was peeking out of your window there.
Oh, I like this music.
It's very, very sci-fi. Alright, well let's get into it. So maybe Dr. Kucho can tell us how big the team is that's working on this game. Is it just you? I know you said yesterday on Twitter that it's been in the works for 6 long years.
The team is just Dr. Kucho.
Team is just me, okay.
Can I ask Dr. Kucho, where did your inspiration come from this game? Are there other games that inspired you? The pixel art is fantastic.
Now, when I pulled this up on Steam, it said it was recommended to me because I had previously played Noita.
Yes.
And I can't remember what the other game was, but Noita really stuck out to me because Noita is it's a pretty unique game with some falling sands mechanics.
I think the comparison's probably because of the sort of physics that the two used.
He says his inspirations were Lemmings, Worms, and Abe's Odyssey.
I was just actually thinking before we came on I was thinking about Lemmings because it has that the running animation looks a little bit like Lemmings, and I remember Lemmings very fondly growing up. Played it a lot on the Amiga, the Commodore Amiga. But I can see that, yes. The size of the characters as well.
I like the little voiceovers too. Whenever you, like, if I say "follow me." For me, I was actually thinking of like Earthworm Jim. I think maybe it's kind of the way the landscapes are laid out, and maybe a little bit of the physics too. But right off the bat, this reminded me of Earthworm Jim a lot.
Yeah, the movements, character movements. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. Aiden's asking if Dr. Kuchor made the music as well. Because if you did, well, that's even more impressive. You're doing the whole package.
Okay, so we've just told our guy to go right. Come with me. So we're just directing him on the D-pad.
I'd also like to ask Dr. Kuchor.
Oops.
Perhaps, sorry. When can we expect this game? Have we got any idea of a sort of release date?
Tired of this.
Yeah, classic Disney animations.
Alright, we'll give our guy a boost there. There he goes.
You've just got to get one chap in.
Oh! I was like, he just left us behind. Okay, level 1 down. The left bumper for jump is very strange. But it is done for a reason. I like these dance moves too. Look at that. Look at him go.
Oh, look at this.
Dropping it like it's hot.
And Darcelon, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, where did that name come from? Is that just a made-up name?
Oh wait, I can jump over there. Flashlight again. Excellent. Can I jump over there? I feel like this is probably gonna kill me.
Oh no.
Okay. I didn't mean to fall that far. I thought I was gonna land on the rocks on the other side. But you never know.
I love the flashlight, it's wonderful.
I do too. It's really nice to be able to move it around. Like I can move it with the left or with the right thumbstick actually. Now where did our guy go? Oh, he's probably out of reach. And I think I was actually, it looks like maybe I was supposed to find someone else in the tunnels. Is there a way to restart? Maybe I can just die. You better restart the level. That's what Dr. Kucha said.
Kill yourself.
This is how we restart levels.
Smokeback's with us now, as well.
Yeah, welcome Smokeback. You didn't know I put on glasses. Yeah, I've had some eye problems in the last couple days. I think I just scratched it, so I've been rocking the glasses. You should not make that jump. Uh-oh. Did something happen to the game?
You should not make that jump. Oh.
Well then, the jump of death.
Yes.
I'm gonna close this out. I'm gonna go back to us for a second. I hope our cameras don't freak out again.
Hopefully not. There's a lot of weapons in the game. There's also vehicles as well. From what I'm reading here. There's jetpacks, trucks, and spaceships that you can drive and enter, which sounds good. The black screen of death.
That's what I get for trying to make that jump. Oops.
Here we go.
Alright, we've got music. Make sure we get the game pulled up here. There it is. Alright, back to level 2. Here we go, grab the flashlight. We're gonna turn back before it's too late.
Stay with me.
Oh, where's our guy going? Come on.
Stay close.
Don't like the look of that. And there we go, we have another one. Hold on. Wait, buddy.
Come with me.
We also have SFB in the chat. SFB, have you ever been in one of our live streams before? If not, then welcome. Well, even if you have been, welcome.
Welcome.
Follow me.
We're currently looking at the moons of Darcelon.
Our second of 6. Yep, so that, since we're playing 6 demos today, that will take you to the Steam Next Fest page. I didn't really know the best way to do that command, but thank you for checking it out. So this is Moons of Darcelon. Oh no!
Oh no!
I wasn't paying attention. Okay, screw me.
Flashlight.
Yeah, SFB. What is your name? I just always call you
Stay
SFB.
with me.
Kevilaw's watching on Twitch as well. Hi, Kevilaw.
Oh, I wanted him to wait. That's why I turned the flashlight off of him. So these guys won't move in the dark, it appears. Well, I should look where I'm going. Alright, did he just laugh at me because I got burned?
Stay close.
Scott is your name. Well, very glad to have you, Scott. Yeah, I do recognize you from the comments. We have some good conversations. You're always recommending. Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Oh my gosh. You're always recommending really good games to me.
Flashlight. Come with me.
Dr. Kucho, how many followers can you have at any one time? What's the most you can have?
Ooh, great question. The way things are going, you're only going to get to see 2?
It looks, yeah, it's looking that way, isn't it?
Where is that guy going? That guy needs a jetpack. I like the little text that pops up over them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to blame them for my misadventures off the edges of the cliffs here. Alright, one small step here. And we've done it. Dr. Kucho, is this your first game? And if so, I'm curious how you got into game development. I'm always curious to hear how folks get into that. Let's see, how do we recruit this man in green?
Stay with me.
You have to go up and round. I think you have to go to the left and round, perhaps.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, this is your third game. Are your other 2 games on Steam?
What happened there?
It said press again.
You do a big jump or grab.
You can... Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna leave these folks behind.
Over here.
I love that slow motion effect.
I do too. It makes the grabbing a lot easier.
Come with me.
Crouch. It's just hold down on the left stick. That's easy enough. Let's see if we can get through the end of this level before
Follow me.
4 minutes is up.
Stay with me.
Come on, buddy. You're lagging. I'll follow this other guy.
Stay close.
We got you. Is this it? Oh, what the heck?
That was it.
Ready.
Oh, he said wait for them to enter first. He did one.
Have been rescued. Good job.
Dr. Kucho says, third game, I wanted to make games in 8-bit. Then you quit for 25 years, got into DJing and music producing. Then 8 years ago, you wanted to return to game dev. Well, welcome back. I think this is a great little game. We haven't seen very much of it, just 2 levels. Can you tell us how long the demo is for those who want to explore more? If you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description below. The links for all the games are in the description below. And if you want to follow these developers on Twitter, you can just go to my Twitter page, and the most recent tweet will have all of their accounts tagged there as well. 7 levels in the demo. Yeah, we're just gonna sit here on this dance for a couple more minutes as we catch up. Leon, do you reckon you could do this dance?
I think I could. I'm not very good at it, but I think just try it a bit, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to exit out of it. Right as you were starting.
I was just about to go. We could have replicated that.
Oh man, missed opportunity.
Yes. Such a shame.
Such a shame. Yeah, really cool game. I really love this aesthetic too. Again, it really takes me back to like the early Super Nintendo days. Really lovely. Fun gameplay too, with like the Lemming style directions.
And I mentioned it earlier, Dr. Kucho. Any ideas on a release date and what platforms we can expect this on? Is it just going to be PC, I suppose, initially, but will you consider consoles in the future? I could see this working particularly well on the Nintendo Switch. There we have it, means of Darcelon.
Well, and there we have it. Our cameras are messed up again. For just a second here.
You're very much a technical wizard, say, Cody.
Well, as you say that, I'm having trouble opening Road 96. Let me get it open before I try and stream it to you.
That is it. on my television now.
Dr. Kucha, thank you very much for taking the time to join us for Moons of Darcelon. We really appreciate all your time, you sharing your stories and tales of development.
Thanks very much, and I'll be definitely following that. And if you haven't got it wishlisted, please head over to Steam and wishlist the Moons of Darcelon. And as we switch games, I can see that we have got Camelot, part of the Road 96 team, in the chat. Thanks for coming, Dr. Kuchaw. Good luck with everything. Hope to speak to you again in the future. Now, Road 96, I'm sure Camelot can tell us a little bit about this. If anyone's got any questions about it in the chat as we go, please just add them. Now, it's a sort of choose-your-own-adventure story from what I've been reading this one, Cody.
It is, and that's, I guess, a genre. It's a kind of game that I really love. I can't imagine how complex it is to make a game like this, where you have so many decisions and so many different endings from what I've heard. But yeah, I love a game that not only gives you decisions, but makes them matter in the end. Let's say we want to escape reality.
You might also watch a movie to
That's why we play games.
Have a laugh.
Thanks. Good to know. Oh, one last question. What would you do if you disagreed with our country's government?
Not much of anything.
Right on. Isn't it like the other
I would stay put.
trying to
So it looks like we have a couple people in the chat that are really looking forward to Road 96. Kevalo said it. I think Scott also said it. Get your kicks on Road 96. I like it. Well, what's the date today?
No, it's called
Okay, June
It's called Road
16th.
96. Yeah, because it's set in 96. The summer of 1996. What was I doing in 96? I was at high school in 1996.
Yeah, I guess the summer of 96 I would have been preparing for kindergarten.
Oh, there you go. What a difference 10 years makes.
Ahino, I didn't say welcome, but I'm glad you're here, mate. Here to see what the games are about. Well, this is the third of 6. We're almost halfway through our 2-hour stream. Yeah, Sophie says you don't look old enough, Leon, and I completely agree.
Old enough what?
Up here! Up here!
I don't look old enough. I tell my students that I'm sort of old and decrepit.
She's gonna get sick on the hog stand!
But I did say, if you remember, I said that I might be 40, but I can pass for 30. Well, some people say that, so.
We just stole from them. I think we could slow down.
What'd you say, kid? Can't hear ya! On account of the wind!
Little lady wants you to slow down, Stan.
Mitch, hard as I try, I can't hear you neither! On
Yes,
account of the
unfortunately, I
wind.
was in high school, Sophie, in 1996. Those were the
Serious
days.
the moving, and I know you are speaking to me. Yet pains me to say, I cannot
Cray,
hear
cray.
you.
Sophie was 4.
Oh my. Leon, do you like games like this? Kind of a choose your own adventure style?
Yeah, I do like them. I like having options. I like sort of multiple paths that you can take.
Would if I could, Stan. Now you know I have issues with the lower lumbar.
Right, your issues with the lower lumbar.
So Scott was 27 in 96, so he beats me. He's older than me. There you go.
So, Camelot in the chat, can you tell us what you do as part of the team for Road 96? What's your role?
Watch! A furry friend!
Aw, happens with the smaller life forms?
And I'd also like to ask, why 1996? Is it a sort of key year or a key time for some of the development team?
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
We did it, Mitch. We robbed the big one. First Patreon National.
So I'm still confused on why we're in this sidecar if we're not one of the
Hey, little lady, you
the members of
understand
the bank robbing team here. So Camelot says they're a designer, so you write the situations, work on the different levels, and minigames you'll encounter. Well, it sounds like you're just the person I want to talk to. How in the world do you connect all these stories together? Maybe you can't even like explain that in the chat. But that's something I'm always so curious about with games like this.
I knew it, Mitch. We're
Is
famous.
how do you connect all the branching narratives back together, or
Maybe
how do you culminate them all differently? There's so many different choices. The game is sort of procedurally generated, so you can take the story by any bit.
Oh yeah, me and Mitch were just
Something
talking
big's a
about
coming here.
Yeah, it's like the air is crackling with electricity.
Your choices change the adventure, change people, and change the world. There are thousands of routes along Road 96. Which will you take? It's supposedly filled with a soundtrack of 90s hits as well.
Yeah, quite unexpected.
So I've just been alerted that my choice was going to have an impact.
Hey,
Oh.
what are you looking out down there?
Oh, that rust is what's called an optical contusion, kid. The sidecar's solid as can be.
Real solid, Mitch. Like that time it fell off in the middle of the road.
Well, if you'd swerve,
Aiden's off. Thanks for joining us. See you soon, Aiden.
Accident.
Yeah, Dan, have a great night, my friend.
Well, shoot, the cops, Stan.
If they start shooting, we're goners. Kid,
Now, this
do
game is
something to
planned for
slow 'em
PC
down.
and Switch.
You wanna
Oh, we're throwing money at the cop car. Okay,
One way to do it.
that is very inventive.
But Camelot says that things could have been different if you'd have made a different choice. Could have been on a different road.
Ah, okay. At the beginning, I guess, when it was asking why I watch movies, what I would do if certain governmental situations came up. If this guy could just drive a little straighter, I mean my guy, that would be really helpful. We're just wasting money at this point. And Camelot, correct me if I'm wrong, the demo will give you kind of 2 runs through like the first level of sorts, or the first chapter, so you can kind of see what your changes in decisions will do to the narrative, right?
It's your fault, kid.
Actually, the kid's right. In my momentary fear, I did. Forgive me.
I don't know if I...
Oh, look at that, a cassette
Right.
tape.
Do you remember those, Cody?
Oh yes, I do. I remember when they would get screwed up and all the tape would come out and you'd have to stick a
Yeah.
pencil in those wheels and rewind it with that. Did you do that?
Yeah. Oh, I did. Actually, 96 was a bit of a transition year at that time. Mid-90s, people were starting to move to CDs. Maybe a bit earlier. I think I was just a bit late. I was getting CDs in 95 and 96.
Yeah.
Fine, I forgive you.
Phew, that's a relief. Anyway, for helping us out back there, we'll take you a little ways further.
Thanks, that's really nice.
Mitch and I are nice people.
You look like nice people. Oh, I like you guys. So you said exactly but they're not proper chapters, just possibilities of things that could have happened. Awesome. Do you have any idea of how long the full game will take to play through?
The
Okay.
collectibles in the game are actual soundtracks.
And so it looks like in the bottom of our screen here, we have Stan and Mitch 8%. I wonder if that percentage of players have experienced Stan and Mitch, or if we're like 8% of that storyline completed. And Camelot says about 6 to 8 hours for the full game, depending on your choices in general. That sounds awesome. Played over a couple days.
You'll play through multiple times potentially.
Oh, I definitely will. Especially when a game tells me that your choices matter. There's multiple endings. I'm a huge sucker for that.
July 13th, that's my wedding day, but not in 96. Camelot says it's 8% of the character's storyline.
Perfect.
So you're off the bike now.
Hold shift to run. I am playing this on keyboard and mouse. I did switch from the controller. Yeah, we're off the bike and it seems our health is very, very low. Wonder if we are one of those. Oh, can we vandalize? Huh. Okay.
Very atmospheric. I love the night setting.
Yes, really nice art and world building so far. I know we haven't seen many of the characters yet, but from the trailer, the character building looks really nice too. I like the animation style that I've seen. A nice vocal soundtrack too.
Yeah.
Just gonna kick some rocks.
Don't recognise the song. Are the songs actually songs that were released in the 90s? Or have they been made specially for the game?
Oh, we can hitchhike. Well, do we need to hitchhike? I thought we were just going down the road. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with
Is this a
the
glimpse?
screen. It is a demo. Stuff like this happens. That's the end of one chunk. Okay. Every map on the road is a bit different. Some of them are a lot more calm or tense, sometimes joyful, sometimes sad, but we tried to make a few surprises every time. So we have about 5 minutes left with Road 96. I kind of want to jump back in. And maybe we'll choose a couple different choices and just see who the characters are that we end up with. We won't stay in it for too long.
Hey there. Mind if I ask you a few
Okay, it's
questions?
no longer flickering for anybody that stopped looking.
Yeah.
Usually,
Open your eyes now, it's fine. Everyone's liking it.
Pillow. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for being here. Also, huge thank you. You were so helpful during the life slide stream the other day in getting the commands and links up for everybody. I really appreciate you being there. And thanks for coming back today. Travel with friends.
Yeah, but do you have any? Kidding.
Burn.
So, next question. When you're traveling, do you follow the itinerary or are you more spontaneous?
And my friend Indie Playing is here. Welcome. Indie Playing and I did kind of a collaboration video. He actually invited me to play It Takes Two back when it released. I think we both had a lot of fun with it. I'm more organized, for sure.
It like the other runaway teens, trying to flee Petria. It's really dangerous to cross the border. I hope you're ready.
And these are very different choices from our first time around, too. So it's not like you're just giving different answers to the same questions.
Yeah.
I really like the variety. Well, if anyone has any last-minute questions for Camelot, who is working on Road 96, make sure to drop them in the chat very quickly, because we only have a few minutes left with them.
It's scheduled to be released in 2021 this year sometime. Have we got a release date yet?
Thanks for the ride home, girl. Now I got
I wonder if we've got any ideas of when we can expect this.
I don't think I've seen one.
I can do better than talk about it.
Yeah, Kevalo kind of asked the same thing. Is there a release date for the Switch?
Anywhere with free electricity. Just need to charge my super dope tech in the back.
Full of dope tech.
Yo, go on. Ask me a question. I can multitask.
Leon,
like
is dope a word that is high on your vocabulary list? Is it a word that you frequently use?
No, it's not a word I ever use, really. What, as in, like, this thing's dope?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I don't, well, it's not, it might have, I don't know, ask some of the people, the British people in the chat whether they use it. I don't.
what happened is
But
I guess that makes, yeah, it doesn't really sound like a
did this?
British word. I think I do use it a lot.
yeah, maybe the cool kids use it.
I don't know that I would loop myself into that category.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Sophie says she uses it when trying to be hip.
Get back to this baby.
I use it when I'm talking
What's
to
it?
children.
I might try it with some of my students, you know, to be cool.
They might just give you kind of that like what? You're too old. You're too old for that
Yeah,
word.
well, you know, like, I put the lit in literature,
Check it. Data complete.
and, you know, think I'm cool.
Oh, that's lit. Lit is actually a word that I don't ever use. Do you guys say that?
No, well, some of the students do, I don't.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, let's.
Play games, you know. Built that computer too.
No, I didn't
No.
want to look at the
Everyone
flyer.
will have a computer.
We've not got a precise release date, so Camelot says, but hopefully sometime in the summer, or if not later in the year, so maybe autumn time, but certainly 2021. And is it going to release on the Switch at the same time as PC? Maybe,
I'm telling you, small
or
computer.
will that come later?
Hungry? Ask your small computer.
So this is the tape that we found in the first section. We could play it on the radio.
Ah,
I like this.
yeah. There's a lot to dance to tonight.
We need this with the Moons of Darcelon dance moves,
Yeah.
with the choreography. There's another tape hidden in this map. Oh, I don't think we have time to look for it, or time to find it. Oh, wait, can we drink this? Whatever's rolled. Okay, so we drank that and it gave us like health or energy. Scott says it's a bop. We don't say
Yeah,
that in the
bop.
States.
No. So for my students still say things are sick.
Oh, I say sick a lot actually.
That's
At least daily.
Okay. Well, you're one of the cool kids, aren't you, Colin?
You know, I'm starting to figure out that maybe I am. So we're gonna leave this music on while we transition, since it's such a bop. It's a dope bop, if I've ever heard one. Camelot, thanks so much for joining us. I know things are very busy for you guys during Next Fest. I'm sure development is really picking up towards the end of your road here. But thanks so much for taking the time to be with us. Link is down below in the description if you're on YouTube. Dr. Cheesesteak on Twitch says, "Oh, I just missed Road 96. You did indeed. You're listening to the music from it. But yeah, we just wrapped up and now we're on to Avaliana.
Avaliana.
We're still a little torn on the pronunciation there.
What a super game. I can't wait to play that one.
Seems a very chill game. Like you can kind of play it, not pay attention to it, but it's not like you don't have to be glued to your screen and not thinking about anything else. Like you can walk away, take a break, come back to it. You're still there, but it seems really fun. I love all the different choices and character timelines that you can go down. Very cool.
Very cool indeed. So Avaliana, what can I tell you about Avaliana? Well, it initially started through a Kickstarter campaign, and it smashed its Kickstarter campaign. It's coming out on the PC and hopefully the Switch sometime in the near future, and it is described as an action infiltration game, which sounds interesting, doesn't it?
That does sound interesting. Action infiltration.
Yes, action infiltration. And it is produced by a French developer who was hoping to be with us today, but he had a prior dinner engagement, unfortunately. But he is doing a stream tomorrow that he asked me to mention. So if you want to see the developer playing this, he is streaming it tomorrow evening.
Camelot, on the off chance that you're still here, if you want to join our Discord and drop your links for where we can follow you guys, feel free to do that. You can just drop it in the general chat and the games chat, or if you want to follow Road 96 on Twitter, anyone in the chat you want to follow them on Twitter, just head over to my Twitter page, and my most recent tweet has all the games listed there. Their accounts are linked and tagged, so please support the developers. A lot of amazing teams to follow here today. So we have
so many good games.
Avaliana pulled up here. What does this remind you of, Leon? Anything in particular?
It has a look of Hyper Light Drifter to me, but I don't know. It looks a little bit like the Clan O'Connell crossed with Hyper Light Drifter with the aesthetic.
That's a great comparison. Actually, Hyper Light Drifter is what I was thinking of too, even though I haven't played it. Just the kind of coloring and aesthetic of it really reminds me of that. And I can definitely see the Clan O'Connell with especially the coloration and the characters and just kind of the overall Irish or Scottish vibes.
Yeah, Celtic perhaps.
Celtic, yeah.
Yeah. And it's got that sort of like, I suppose, 2D, 2.5D sort of isometric look to it, which is very popular.
Okay, so you can see the stealth kind of coming into play here. Oh, why can't I hit this one? There we go.
This is another game that's been solely developed by a single person.
Any idea how long they've been working on it?
Well, the Kickstarter campaign started in 2020. In fact, I can tell you exactly that the development started on the 23rd of February 2020.
Really? So not all that
There
long.
you go. No, just pulled that out of thin air for you.
Oh, that was close. Woof! We made it. Scott says Shades of Songbringer as well. There's one. Scott, whenever you
Yeah.
mention a game, I almost guaranteed I haven't played it. You mentioned so many games that I haven't played.
But I've played Songbringer. Yeah, I can see it. It's similar sort of hyperlight drift to that sort of top-down, old-style sort of Zelda. I think, well, this one, it's not quite... Songbringer is more pixelated in its art style. But I can see where you're going with it.
Okay, so I didn't realize that the grass was hiding me there. Yes, I would like to hide in the high grass and remain invisible. Wow. Now's a good time for me to start reading that, huh? Hiding into the bushes is also an option, but the noise will alert all enemies close by. Okay. I don't see any enemies here.
Yep. Did you
Ooh.
you ever got a dash ability?
Yeah, I like that animation too. Oh, what am I doing? Not paying attention.
Oh, you've been spotted.
Run away. Okay. Easy peasy.
The music's lovely, isn't it? It's very atmospheric.
It is. Now is this... Where am I supposed to go here? Supposed to drop down that hole? No.
Is there a map option with the game?
I don't see one. I mean, this looks like where I'm supposed to go, right?
Perhaps you need a key. Or follow, what is that pathway coming from the door? Do you need to do something to open the door?
Do I need to... What is this, a switch? Okay, there's something down here. Here we go.
Ah, there you go.
Camelot has to go. Thank you for the stream. Enjoy the demos. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Thanks, Camelot. Hope to speak to you soon.
Best of luck with your continued development too. Can't wait to see. Really can't wait to see the final product. Blue torches
I
are
think we'll both.
checkpoints. Go ahead,
I was gonna
Leon.
say, I think we'll both be featuring Road 96 on our channels in the future. Again, definitely.
So I can activate my medallion and move the mouse around and discover invisible things. So you can also play this on a controller and use the right stick for stuff like that. If you look carefully, you'll find spirits like myself who will help you in your quest. Beware, some of them are malicious and won't tell the truth. Now take the stairs. How do we know he's telling the truth? Blue torches are checkpoints. And now we're in... Okay, so now we're in like a 2D portion.
Oh, yes.
More of a platforming.
That's cool, isn't it? I like that switch.
And now we're back.
Really cool.
Pillow
When it
says-
actually advertised, when it advertised the 2D/2.5D, I didn't actually realise that it did that.
Yeah, I didn't really realize that it would be kind of in the same levels. I thought there would be, I don't know, maybe just 2D levels and then some that were more 3D like this. Drinking at the shrines will replenish your health. Okay. So let's drink. But we spent our dust. Increase your maximum health points in exchange for the dust you've collected. Earn them by achieving extraordinary things. Interesting. Yeah, we did become a flashlight there for a little bit, right? With our special medallion. I like how it kind of gates the areas that you sometimes you have to defeat enemies or at least bypass enemies before you can like progress in the stage.
Yeah.
Well, that was on me.
What was that? Some
I
sort
don't-
of corruption?
I don't know. I thought it was turning into like a 2D platforming section. Let's see where it'll. Okay, it just starts us back here. This platforming section wasn't hard at all, so this shouldn't take too long. I'm much better at this platforming than the Moons of Darcelon platforming.
No black screen of death there.
No.
I think that 2D 2.5D switch could prove very interesting later in the game.
I'm really curious to see how it's utilized because it talked about when we first got into it how you could use it to like avoid kind of dicey situations. So I wonder, oh boy. I wonder if it'll be the kind of thing where in certain situations you can choose
Yeah.
which way to go. Well, now what? They don't really seem like they're moving on. I guess we're gonna fight them, huh? Oh wait, they moved on. Well, I'm not very good at stealth games apparently.
Supposedly, all the enemies can be avoided in the game. if
All
you
of
want to
them?
take that route. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you're not seeing very high level gameplay here. Sorry, folks. There was a run button, wasn't there? A dash button. Oh, you caught me. Hoping this is a portal. Okay, phew. So a really stark change in the aesthetic. We're lost in the woods. Hiding in the grass. Well, that was unfair. I wish I could move the screen a little bit to see exactly where I was heading. So I need a key for that. I know that. I'll wait for this one to turn around and then we'll look. I am getting a hang of the stealth. It takes a minute to pick up on. Well, why didn't we just come through there?
What's that?
Oh, I don't know. What is that? I'm stuck. That wasn't very nice.
Sophie's leaving us. She's thanking us for the stream. Thanks for joining us, Sophie. Always a pleasure.
Sophie, thank you for being here. Hope you have a good evening.
And I hope to catch one of your streams soon.
What is this? It's like a... is it a trap?
Is there a path through the woods there, or?
Well, that's what I thought. But I get stuck there. We have Bird the Blue in the chat. What is that you are playing? We are playing Avaliana. It is from a solo French developer.
Called Romain, who actually on Twitter, his Twitter handle is the French Dev. And it's an action infiltration adventure.
With a heavy emphasis on stealth. Never heard of it, looks quite beautiful. Yeah, so far we've seen kind of two biomes, I guess. Two different areas. Very colorful. Really beautiful.
And it's got an expected release date of the end of this year or the start of 2022.
I do want to put this key in and just see what the next area brings us. Yikes, we're about to get caught. That saves our progress. Yeah, Zen evening game. Very much. It does have some combat to it, but Leon was actually just saying that all the combat can be avoided. So I think... Oops. I forgot it had a cooldown. Well then. This might be the death of us.
So if you trigger the alarm, you can't hide, can you?
No, you can't hide at all.
So you
once
have
you've triggered
to
it.
engage.
Can you trigger it if you're like hidden in the shadows though? Let's see. No! I did not realize that. So if you're in the shadows, those lights can't see you. And I don't know what that thing is, but... Ugh. Can we find out?
It looks like a tail.
Now why isn't it seeing us now? Oh, because... well... that was weird. We've already been here, right? There's nothing here. I'm getting turned around. Combat seems simple enough. I'm curious if there will be kind of more mechanics added as you play.
Yeah. I wonder if there'll be boss fights. Can you defeat the bosses without actually having to kill them?
How did that see us? That's a lie. That did not happen. I like the music too. Kind of calm piano music while I'm just hacking and slashing in the bushes.
Quite therapeutic. It's quite soporific is the word.
Soporific.
Sleep-inducing. A great word. Word of the day for you.
It's a dope word.
A dope word, yeah.
What is that? Can we dash through this? Ah, okay. See, everything that I'm curious about ends up hurting me. Such is the case in my everyday life as well, actually. Oh, a fox! I want to catch it. Come back!
Well, maybe you will catch it because in a lot of the artwork that I've seen, there is a fox on the character's shoulder.
That is true. Actually, you might be able to see it behind me. It's in the thumbnail. It's just hidden behind our text. So, actually, that's all the time we have. We are out of time for Avaliana. Avaliana? I really wish the developer had come to set us straight on how to pronounce it.
And as I mentioned earlier, if you want more on this, or if you want to ask the developer questions, he's doing a live stream tomorrow evening. He's in France, so I'm trying to find the actual time, but it's tomorrow evening that he's doing this stream. 6 p.m. CEST, Central European time, if that interests you. Definitely one to watch.
Definitely. I really enjoyed playing it. It's very, very calm for an action stealth game. Very calm and peaceful.
It brings something a little bit different to the mix. You know, it has that Hyper Light Drifter song bringer, that sort of look, the top-down look, but the stealth is something that's new.
So we are
what's up next, Cody?
We are up to White Shadows, our 5th of 6 demos. What can you tell us about White Shadows? To be honest, I don't know very much about it.
Well, I can tell you initially this was supposed to be Renane, but as I mentioned at the start of the stream, the demo's been delayed until tomorrow. I am looking forward to that one. But White Shadows, it's had a trailer recently over the sort of E3 period. Very popular. I think there's a couple of games that you'll probably immediately liken it to as soon as you start controlling the character, Cody. But it is a sort of 2D puzzle platformer with sort of a dark horror element set in some form of dystopian world. And you play as, I think, a raven. But it is very, very beautiful, this game. It has a sort of black and white monochrome aesthetic.
Dave, with the helpful knowledge, shadows aren't white. I think this is quite possibly in an alternate universe setting.
Yes. Yeah.
Bird is familiar with this one too.
Doesn't happen in the UK, this. Well, not around my parts.
So you said...
I want to see what game you immediately compare it to as soon as you start moving the character.
Okay, yeah, I thought that's what you had asked. I was trying to get everything switched over, but I thought I heard you say that. Is this our character? I am going to switch to controller.
Yeah.
Oh, and is this a little bird? It is. Okay, so a couple games come to mind, but one that I've played is Inside or Little Nightmares 2. Which one were you thinking?
Got both.
We are on the same page.
We are, and it actually, like, I played about 10 minutes of this just to try it out, and the movement of the characters reminded me a lot of 6 from Little Nightmares.
Mm-hmm. I would say it reminds me most heavily of that. Inside is a little more, I don't know how to describe it, a little more smooth maybe, or a little more abrupt. Maybe abrupt is what I'm thinking.
You know, I couldn't find a run button like in Little Nightmares. I don't know if you have a run button.
I don't think I can make that jump. Yikes.
No. And even the way you die like that, it's very reminiscent of Little Nightmares.
It is. But the aesthetic of it really reminds me of Inside. It's like a perfect mashup of the two, maybe. I'll take it. Because I enjoyed both of those games. I enjoyed Inside a bit more than Little Nightmares 2, if I'm being transparent.
So it's a modern fable, a distorted mirror of our own world. There you go.
A distorted mirror of our own world. I wonder what kind of stuff we'll discover then.
And you're playing as a little raven girl, trying to escape the city. You know, I got stuck here. I was looking. There's a push move.
That they don't
There
tell
you
you
go.
about.
Yes.
Just kind of have to experiment. It is the X button, if anyone is going to play this demo. The X button is push. Yeah, very old-fashioned design. Reminds me of like, it reminds me of a black and white movie.
A bit like Metropolis, if you know of Metropolis, that
Yeah.
sort of famous like 1930s black and white animation. That it does sort of have that sort of style.
Bird says they love Metropolis. Scott telling us all about the TV show called White Shadow, about a basketball coach that was white, but the players were mostly black. I don't think this is going to be related.
Nope.
No. Okay, there's a I didn't... What? Well, that wasn't fair. I'm not sure why it paused.
Dave likes the look of it. I think we both like the look of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is definitely one that will come out on the Switch.
Yeah,
Would work
do you know
well.
what it's slated for right now?
Well, we've got obviously PC, but it's Head Up Games that are working on this one, and it's hopefully going to come out on PS5, Xbox Series X and Series S as well. So, not a Switch announcement yet, but I can see this one definitely coming at some point.
Yeah, I feel like Head Up is one of those publishers that does try and push their stuff to as many platforms as possible. I know most recently, Aerial Knights Never Yield was published by them.
Yeah.
And came to all consoles.
And it's supposed to come out this year, this game.
Kevalo says another one added to the wish list. Perfect. What is this? I've missed a switch here.
Got a very sort of industrial steampunk type setting, hasn't it?
Yeah. So that shuts it. I feel like these kind of puzzles always take me a couple minutes to figure out. Is there something else I can do here? Can I... Oh, I wonder if I can... Can I make that jump? I kind of don't think I can. I can. Okay. It seemed like I sped up during the jump. But as long as I made it, that's fine. A nice recovery there.
The way you grab, the way you grab sort of things is very similar to Little Nightmares, isn't it?
Yes, and like vault yourself up on them. So I
Yeah.
need to... Okay, I need to...
Can you pull that? Can you move it?
I think so. And then I think I need to push it down. Okay.
David's joined the chat. Hi, Dave.
Oh, hey David. Welcome. We'll make this jump.
Oh.
I thought I could be smooth. I thought I could hit it all in one go. Non-stop.
There you go.
Now we're running through an old trash heap. Dave from Save Deck says, "Gotta go now, guys. Thank you for the free entertainment."
Always a pleasure, Dave.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Hope to speak soon.
I don't like all these loud noises in the background. They're making me nervous. Something's about to happen.
So what's that?
What is-
Teleporter?
Our character doesn't look too sure. Does our character have a name? Or is it just
Just Raven Girl.
Raven Girl?
Unfortunately, that's the name. In a strange sort of way, I know they're totally different games. It reminds me a little bit of BioShock, the first BioShock. Just the, I don't know, just some of the objects, the structures in the landscape.
Like the kind of that cyberpunk, like dystopian feel.
Yeah. It's almost like an Art Deco sort of 1930s aesthetic.
Yeah. I really like it. And I really liked kind of the art style of Inside. Yeah, 2D, kind of these 2D platformers with like massive worlds behind them are a lot of fun to play for me, because you do have to focus on the platforming, but like right now you can look at all this stuff behind you. This giant bird getting his tail kicked. Like there's just so much going on here, more than just the gameplay.
It's fantastic. It reminds me a little bit of the original Little Nightmares when you're climbing the ship on the outside and it pans out and you're really small and you can see everything around it.
This is quite the interesting mechanic. So this is all an animation. I'm not doing anything. I punched the button. Now I'm going up the lift. The hog lift, I guess, is what they were saying in the background. I feel like we're making pretty good progress on this one. More so than any of the other games, actually.
I feel like the guys in this chat are getting to see a decent amount of this.
Yeah.
Demo.
Definitely a good look at the world building. Is it going to stay this zoomed out?
The way the camera pans in and out is fantastic.
I'm gonna turn the game volume down just a bit here. It is quite loud. Hill is saying somehow the backgrounds have a Charlie Chaplin vibe. I think it's just that kind of overall black and white, like it's a little bit hazy. It has like kind of a downtown black and white aesthetic to it. I can definitely see a Charlie Chaplin vibe.
Well, it's sort of 1930s, isn't it, Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah.
So it's a bit... And the movies of that era were black and white.
So far, the gameplay is not as challenging as something like Inside or Little Nightmares. What in the world was that? But I feel like those are much more... I'm not sure how to describe it. Like, you have enemies that you're trying to avoid and stuff like that. We haven't really encountered that yet. As I say that, we have something popping up behind us.
And the puzzles all seem rather simplistic at the moment.
Right. We are only in the first 15 minutes of it, so there's plenty of time for that to change. Just a different style so far, it seems.
But the art style and the sort of the way the sort of cinematic nature of the game is fantastic.
Yeah, even like now we're looking much more downwards, looking at everything that's going on below us. The physics are
sort of
throwing me
like
off a
watching-
bit.
It's a bit like watching a movie.
I want to meet this little creature that's running with us. Can we... Well, that's not the way to do it.
But ask yourself, would this game exist if not for Inside and Little Nightmares?
Excuse me. That's a good question. I'm sure those games have kind of inspired a lot of other games, even more than we're probably even considering.
Well, the Unravel games have a similar sort of gameplay element to them.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of look the way the camera pans in and out.
Do we maybe just need to keep jumping on this?
You actually need to drop down.
Well, that's what I tried to do and then I died.
See that? Maybe that's like a little secret or a collectible.
Can I maybe... Oh, okay, I can jump all the way. There we go.
Follows you.
Okay, we can't go back. We lost our friend. But it sounds like he's still near us somewhere.
Even those cages look very similar to Little Nightmares.
Yes. Alright, let's get the cage out of the way. And here he comes. Oh, here comes several of them. This is really cool with these like cars going over the top. Very cinematic. I think you mentioned that earlier. Oh, here they come. Don't get hit by the car, please. What are these?
They're your new friends.
I love them. They fly? They at least buzz. Color is everything. Interesting sign to have posted here. We have Vegathron in the chat. Hey there, champions. Welcome, man.
Hello,
Thanks for
Vegathron.
joining us all the way from Australia.
What time is it in Australia? 7:40 a.m.
Oh boy.
Too early. Yep. I wouldn't be. Well, actually, I would be because I'd be getting ready for work. So why are you up, Vegathon? Did you get up specially for us? Or have you got to go to work or plans for the day?
Well,
The demo day is going well, I feel. Cody, how do you feel?
I feel like it's going really well. Yeah. Having a lot of fun. Sable was really nice to look at. I would argue this is one of the best looking games we've looked at as well.
Yeah.
Some minor frame rate issues right now, but it's all a demo. This stuff is expected. But
Yeah.
just like a giant spinning top.
Yes, Pillow says Bendy and the ink machine. I was actually thinking about that before. It does a little bit. I wonder if this will be the end of the demo. This is called White Shadows.
Yes, White Shadows. It will be the end of it for us. We'll see how this wraps up here, how this cutscene wraps up. But we do need to get to Death
one
Trash. So we'll do Death Trash, and then we'll probably spend 5 or 10 minutes just chatting and catching up, talking about our thoughts on the day. And then Saturday, we have another 6 demo stream. We already have 5 devs confirmed to come chat with us. So I know Leon and I are both really looking forward to that stream too. Hope a lot of you are able to join us Saturday. That will be at 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So 4 hours earlier than today's stream started.
Which is 5 p.m. UK time.
Alright. Now for the grand finale, Death Trash. A game that has, similar to Sable, been on my wish list probably for at least 2 years. Maybe even longer than that. As long as I've been keeping like a written down wish list, which I think is 2 years, it's been on there.
And it's been in production for 6 years.
Yes, we learned that, or I learned that yesterday on Twitter when the developer was talking to actually the developer for Moons of Darcelon about how long their games had been in development. Very similar time frames.
So what if you've never heard of Death Trash? It's an action role-playing game with all sorts of mechanics and elements to it. Combat, stealth, you've got item crafting, you've got psi powers, you've got all sorts, and it's all wrapped up in a lovely pixel art isometric aesthetic. Yes, 6 p.m. Paris time, I think it is, Pillow. We start tomorrow. Well, have you got your dog there?
My white shadow is making an appearance.
Oh.
Yeah, is your dog around, Leon? What a cutie. What a cutie.
This is Spider.
Welcome to the stream, Spider.
I've just woken her up from her slumber. She's a cavapoo. I don't know if you know you have cavapoos in America. So she's a cross between a King Charles Spaniel and a poodle.
Yeah, my mom actually used to have a King Charles Spaniel mix. I don't know what it was mixed with, but I am familiar with the breed. That dog was actually a devil. I don't know about yours.
She can be a devil. But, well, she's posed in well for the camera.
Yeah, she's looking good. Let me just turn the
Go
graphics
back.
down here a bit so I don't fry my
Whooper
computer.
stream. It's that spider. I named her Spider after the dog from The Woman in Black, the novel by Susan Hill, but also that film with Daniel Radcliffe in.
So we've started our stream with a very distinct art style. I know we're wrapping up with more of a pixel art game, but I feel like this has a very distinct style of its own, even for pixel art. What do you think, Leon?
Yeah, I think certainly when you get to the gameplay, I'm not an expert on the different types of pixel art. I know David, he's a specialist, isn't he? He
Yeah.
could perhaps add something to this. But there is something that sort of makes it stand out. It does have its own unique style. You seem to be able to craft your own character, create your character here.
Yeah, so this is my first time opening the game, other than making sure it would open. I did not realize that there would be like such RPG elements, which is something I am a big fan of. Lockpicking, we always take that.
Yeah, I think there's all sorts of different choices here, attributes that you can choose that will probably change the gameplay.
Let's just accept it as it is. We could probably spend the rest of the stream customizing our character.
I should just point out that the press kit says that there are references to cosmic flesh titans, grotesque elements, sexual references, and there's also trash talk in the game.
Well, there absolutely should be trash talk.
That'd be dope.
And trash to pick up.
Yes, you do pick up trash.
This is not mine. Oh, is that blood? Interesting. Former citizen. It looks like the operation has been successful. Do you remember who you are? Yes. We've had our citizenship revoked. Real tongue twister for me. I want to leave now. We'll see how things go.
You don't want to take the course?
What's that?
Oh, you don't want to take the course?
No.
Maybe you'll have to.
We're leaving.
I think the isometric style, you get a lot of games that call themselves isometric, a bit like Avaliana that we had earlier, but they appear to be a bit more top-down. I think this has your sort of classic isometric look. It reminds me a lot of the games from the 90s that I used to play on the Amiga.
Let's see. How do I arm myself here? I've picked up some armor.
So we do actually have a release date for PC for this. Early access begins on August the 5th. So not too far off.
Have they said how long they plan to be in early access for? Because I think the plan is to come to consoles as well, right?
Yeah, it's actually scheduled to come to everything: PC, Xbox One, PS4, Switch. But they won't come until it gets its full release. Games
Right.
often stay in early access for about 12 months, or sometimes longer. Sometimes shorter. Ender Lilies has only been in early access for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Now who's this? Who's this bloke? Oh, and look, there's the infamous flesh monster from some of the trailers behind us.
Yep. This is an iconic scene.
The flesh kraken. We're gonna say nothing. We're probably gonna end up killing this guy. Yes.
Dot says it reminds me of Project Overkill on the Sega Genesis Mega Drive. It was Mega Drive for me. It would have been Genesis for you, Cody. Similar colour scheme and perspective. Do you know what? I sort of remember the name, but I don't actually recall it that well. I did have a Mega Drive, but I didn't have Project Overkill.
Okay, so I've just figured out how to equip my gun with the right click. I'm assuming that shooting will be, yep, with the left click. Oh. Oh, no, no, no.
Have you run out of bullets?
I've angered him. I have run out of bullets.
Oh,
Ha! Lurid dreams, swimming through the dreams, surfacing, okay. We'll take his booze, we'll take his meat. Can we eat it? What can we do with the puke? Of course that would
yeah, I
make
think
us
you
sick.
can actually eat it. I'm sure I've seen a trailer.
Put down the
Megatron
tools
says
of
that
the
he's
bank.
torn about playing early access. It's an interesting one. What do you make of the whole early access business, Cody?
It's tough. I know people are torn on it. I don't think I mind it as long as there's like a clear, you know, as long as they actually follow through with like a normal release timeline. Like some games stay in early access for 7 years, which I think is a bit much. But yeah, I don't mind early access for the most part, as long as the developers are clear on what you're getting when you pay for it up front. I feel like that's very important.
So what I tend to find is that I'll get a game in early access, I'll play it for a time, and then I'll just leave it and wait until it comes out. I've done that with so many games that I've got on Steam. Like Ender Lilies is a perfect example. I thought I'll just wait until the full release comes out.
Right. Kind of the same for me. I was really interested in it when it first came out, and thankfully it hasn't been in early access for that long. That was another one that we saw during the Nintendo Indie Direct back in like March or April, right?
Yeah, it was.
I was really surprised that it was coming out of early access that soon. So we're the Flesh Kraken's friend now. I guess now that we killed his other friend.
This must be a Cosmic Flesh Titan.
It must be, yeah. Because there's another one. I think you can see it behind me. Well, I'm really small on the screen now, but it's like just a giant eye. Forget it. Can we? Oh, I thought maybe we could hit it.
There's a local co-op mode as well, which is available in the demo, but not online co-op. Or else we would have played this together, Cody.
Yeah, we were hoping to play this one together because we had seen that co-op was a thing, but unfortunately it is just local co-op for now. Someone's made an altar there for the Flesh Kraken. Is there a way to bring up my quests or see what I'm doing? Find someone who can examine your contamination. I wonder if that was the guy that we killed.
Possibly. Seems like there's a lot of
Rip.
inventory management here. Lots of things you can collect and use.
So let's go to this next area. Whoa.
Very nice.
Okay, so if you're on a keyboard, C brings up like a kind of a quick swap menu.
Are you playing this on keyboard and mouse?
I am actually, yeah. Actually, let me pick up the controller and see how it works. So it's twin stick controls. Your range can actually change based on how far you push the right stick.
See, I just don't think I could play this with the mouse and keyboard.
Really?
have to
I
play
actually
with
find
yeah.
it easier.
It's because until well, I've been a console gamer all my life until about 18 months ago.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
games that feature like inventory management are a lot easier to manage on a keyboard. And
Uh-oh.
it's not a good look. But we're back. That's under abilities? Why would we want to do that? This guy's tough. I don't really know how to avoid getting hit.
Is there a dash move?
They haven't told me of one.
Maybe you need a better weapon.
That's probably what it is. Hexen finger. What is this? I can harvest that.
It says you get psi powers, PSI. So what are those? Are they like sort of like superpowers that you can fire lightning rays or something, or you can control people with your mind?
I don't know. And it said there were like some cybernetic implants too that you could kind of upgrade yourself with. Here's another one of those altars, right? What's this hooligan doing down here? Sunbathing. Clothes are very practical, yeah. I don't know if I want to see this.
Oh.
That's how I celebrate the sun. Off you go. I don't think so.
What would he need help with?
I don't know. How do I attack this man? That's all I want to know. I'm leaving. I wanted to attack. So what is this hexen finger good for? For crafting, okay. Guess we can't go down there. Okay, Q is heal. Knowledge fragment grants 50 experience points. Let's take a close look at that. Now, where do we view our experience? Statistics, maybe? Knowledge? I don't know. This feels like more of a kind of a hardcore game. Not Souls-like, but something where you just kind of have to find your own way if you don't take the course at the beginning like I opted out of.
Looks quite challenging.
We're just gonna stand here and swing. So we can eat that, we can craft with that. I wonder if there's like a max to the resources that we can carry. Oh, med ingredients. Very nice. Are there any key bindings and options?
Yes.
Where's the roll? Space. Why didn't I think of that?
I did say, is there a dash move or that's what you need.
That is what we need. David is off. It's a bit late. David, thanks so much for hanging out, man. I hope you have a good night. Well,
Thanks, David. See you soon.
I think
Hope you like the pixel art.
I'm sure he loves it. So let's wrap up with this one. We're gonna stick around for a couple minutes and chat about all the games we've played, and hear from you guys about which games you liked the best. So Leon, what did you think? What was your... Let's see. What was the one that stood out to you the most from today?
Well, I would say the best one to watch was White Shadows. Watching you play that was a cinematic experience. It's the sort of thing that you're watching with your mouth open in awe of the graphics. I think after that I got. What about you?
Sorry, what was it after that one? Sable. Yeah, I think... obviously, I've talked at length today and in other videos recently about how much I love Sable. So I will say... Actually, I'll say White Shadows really impressed me. I was not expecting that. I was expecting like a black and white aesthetic, but I wasn't expecting something so cinematic and so interesting to kind of take in as you're just casually moving through and solving, at least in the early part, some pretty simple puzzles. The world was just incredible to look at. It seems filled with lots of like little Easter eggs to find, just little hints that kind of point you in the right direction of where the story is going in it.
And what did you make of Avaliana?
I really liked that one as well. I think the gameplay will take a little bit to get used to, and it'll take a little bit of experimentation with like figuring out what objects you can hide behind or in. The stealth mechanics, I think, will take me a bit of getting used to, or take me a bit to get used to. But overall, man, the art style, really cool, very nice colors. Yeah. What did you think about?
I really liked the art style. As I say, it reminded me a little bit of Hyper Light Drifter, with a bit of Clan O'Connell, that puzzle platformer from earlier this year. I like the look of it. I like the stealth mechanics, as you say. It adds something a little bit unique. What about Road 96? That was totally different to the games that we played. I like the choose your adventure style. That's definitely... What's your take?
Yeah, it's definitely something for me too, and it was quite interesting. I really thought it was just kind of maybe going to start the same way every time you played it, differ from there out, but it kind of introduces you to different stories every time you start over, it's really neat. I liked it a lot. Very cool art style as well.
Vegathon's asking about the Hyper Light Drifter one. It was the Avaliana. Now, I will say it's not graphically similar. Well, it is actually. It doesn't have the same pixel art style, but it reminded us both of Hyper Light Drifter, so you might want to try that out. And then we've got Moons of Darcelon with the black jump of death.
Yeah, Moons of Darcelon is another one that, again, like the controls of it will take me a bit to get used to, because you're commanding your lemmings, really. You're commanding these other astronauts or whatever they may be. As you find them, you're commanding them with the D-pad to either wait, stay here, follow me, go left, go right. And it's kind of another puzzle platformer in a sense, but you're sending others to do your bidding in a lot of the situations.
I really liked the art style. That was some super pixel art. And all those references to other games like Lemmings, Earthworm Jim, I could see that. It's very much like the 90s. Well, in fact, there's two games actually that have been very reminiscent of 1990s Amiga games: Death Trash and Moons of Darcelon.
Yeah, one thing we actually didn't get to look at a lot, or at all, in Moons of Darcelon is in the options. There's so many different kind of graphical settings that resemble like early gaming systems, or maybe I didn't recognize a lot of the terms. It might just be old TVs, but it's a very CRT television heavy inspiration.
Which some like, some don't like. Like we were told to take it off of the stream because it's not as good streaming. Probably because it sort of maybe blurs it a little bit. Mm-hmm. We want things to be as crisp as possible in the 21st century.
Exactly.
We stream, don't we? So what is the game? What is the number one game for you out of the 6? Are you sticking with White Shadows or?
I'm actually gonna say Death Trash. Even though I think we actually spent the least time with it, it's been so long since I've played like an RPG, like an actual RPG game where you're kind of setting your stats at the beginning, gaining experience as you go, and kind of developing your character. And the world looks incredible. I don't know what else to say about it. Like it looks really cool. I love the RPG elements of it.
It's definitely one I'll pick up. I'll probably pick it up in early access, give it a whirl. I like the pixel art. I'm not as much into the sort of deep RPG elements as you are, perhaps, but I do like the art style, and I think it's definitely one that I'll go for. I think for me, it's going to be White Shadow. I've got to come back to that. It surprised me, and it was the game actually that's not even in on our panel of 6 there, because it was supposed to be Renane, but White Shadows really surprised me.
Yeah, well, an excellent pick. What about you guys in the chat? What was your favorite from the stream today? I know some of you jumped in late. Vegathron, also Nick, welcome to the stream. We're just wrapping up, but thanks for being here. We tried out 6 great demos: Sable, Moons of Darcelon, Road 96, Avaliana, White Shadows, and Death Trash. Vegathron says, I can tell I'm going to be sad once I've finished Death Trash. It looks so fun. Well, as is the case with most RPG games, there's always that second or third run through with a new character, with new stats.
It looks like there's all sorts of different choices you can make, even with the dialogue as well. So you can play through it till your heart's content.
Yeah. Nick asks, which will you recommend? Are you asking for a personal recommendation? Personally, for you, Nick, I would say Sable. For the open world exploration, I think it would check a lot of boxes on your list. A lot of people recently are comparing it to, or saying it looks like Breath of the Wild 2 in kind of that open world sense, but it has a very unique world style and art style overall. A very cool art direction.
I feel we didn't really see enough of Sable. I don't think 20 minutes was enough to properly judge it, and it's one that I think we'll have to spend more time on, and we will do in the future. In contrast, White Shadows, I think it showed a lot of what it's about in those 15-20 minutes. You can see what the rest of the game is going to be like. Sable hadn't really opened up for me.
Yeah, and I think White Shadows kind of opened up, like we were talking about when I was playing it. It's kind of the ease of entry was like you just walk and jump and occasionally solve a pretty easy puzzle early on, but that allowed us to see so much more of the world than something like Sable or something like Death Trash. I mean, Death Trash we did get to see kind of a couple different areas, but that was because I skipped a course. I don't know what the course was even on. Probably a tutorial. So we wandered around a bit. But yeah, White Shadows definitely showed off a lot of what it has to offer, I think. And I'm sure it will build on that as it proceeds from the demo.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you don't already follow Leon at I Love Indies on YouTube or on Twitter, he does daily game, not updates, release updates on Twitter. A game of the day on Twitter, on YouTube.
Yeah,
He does.
today's game today is garlic.
Yes, which has been coming up for like 6 months now. It's been on the upcoming releases list for a long time. So very, very happy to see that one finally out. He also does weekly countdowns on YouTube. So usually on Friday afternoons are when they come out, highlighting indie games that have come out during the week and which ones he would recommend. So Leon, thanks so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure looking at all the demos with you, but most of all just chatting with you, chatting with everybody in the chat. And any last words? Any parting words?
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. And thanks for all the support from everyone in the chat and getting involved and talking indies, because that's what we're all about. And don't forget, we're doing a second stream on Saturday. Do you want to say a bit more about that, Corey?
Yeah, why don't we, can we tease the 5 games that we have lined up?
We could tease. You see, I think there's one in there for Vegathron, actually, because we have the prequel to Resolution. Now, I know this is one that you've talked about in the Discord that we've chatted a little bit about, and you stopped playing it, but then you picked it up again, and you're a little disappointed with it. I put 25 hours into that game, and I really liked some of it, particularly later on in the game. And so there's a prequel coming out called Lila's Sky Arc, and we have got the developer coming to talk to us about it alongside Resolution on Saturday.
Let's see. I was gonna look back and see which was one that I could tease. Yes. Actually, the developer won't be joining us, but someone from the publishing team will. It's called Haven Park. If you've played games, or if you enjoy games like A Short Hike, or what's another one in that kind of chill exploration genre? Maybe even something like Alba, a Wildlife Adventure, although I think probably I'd most closely compare it to something like A Short Hike. But Haven Park is just a casual exploration adventure. It looks beautiful. Someone from that team will be joining us on Saturday as well. And then we'll have 4 more games. That 3 of them.
Treats.
Yes. What was that?
I said, 4 more treats.
Yes, 4 more treats. So guys, thanks so much for joining us today. Hopefully we'll see you again Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But for now, have a good day, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. We'll see you in the next one.